Let's go. I've always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it.
Meghan Markle thought she had finally found her post-royal groove with Love, Meghan, a glossy lifestyle series meant to feel raw and intimate. But instead of praise, she got slammed with a humiliating 2.4 IMDb rating and a YouTube trailer flooded with dislikes. Netflix didn't just pull the plug quietly. The show failed to break the top 10 anywhere, not even in Canada.
With moments that let them know I was really thinking of them.
What? This is probably one of the most glamorous moments of my life.
It's mad!
Meghan Markle's Netflix show, With Love, Meghan, was supposed to be her big moment to connect with fans in a new, raw, and authentic way. The series followed her daily life, showing her cooking, chatting about self-care, and sharing moments that were meant to feel joyful and real. The idea was to give viewers an intimate look at Meghan beyond the headlines, a softer, more relatable side of the Duchess, as if we were invited into her world to see her true self. It was pitched as a lifestyle docu-series, blending her personal journey with lessons about happiness and wellness.
Then it may not, there's no traction, and certainly his polo documentary was the dampest of damp squibs in terms of its reception.
But from the moment the show dropped, the reception was brutal. On IMDb, it sank to a shocking 2.4 out of 10, a score that's lower than many reality TV shows that are known for being downright cringy. The trailer on YouTube wasn't any better, with about 90% of viewers hitting the dislike button. That's a serious red flag for a show that was supposed to be a hit.
New products in the first quarter of 2026. But anyone in their right mind looks at the momentum that was built and the chaos surrounding the launch.
Viewers were quick to call out the slow pacing and awkward moments, saying it dragged on with little to keep them hooked. Meghan's presence on camera didn't come across as natural either. Some found her tone forced, and her attempts at vulnerability came off as staged or insincere. People complained that it felt more like watching a carefully rehearsed influencer video than a genuine peek into someone's life.
And it's so hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen this sort of. I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one.
Netflix had high hopes for With Love, Meghan. They expected it to be a hit, a warm, feel-good docu-lifestyle series that would help reshape Meghan Markle's public image. But instead of drawing buzz, it fell flat, completely. The show didn't just underperform, it failed to break into Netflix's top 10 charts anywhere. Not in the US, not in the UK, and not even in Canada. That kind of invisibility on a global platform like Netflix is more than disappointing. It's damning.
Her stepson, I believe, in the horrific New Orleans attacks. We believe that Tiggy is Archie's godmother. We know that Tiggy is very important to Harry and Prince William.
And it's not like there was stiff competition from major blockbusters. Some of the most dated content was doing better. Old reruns of Friends, Korean dramas from over a decade ago, and even trashy reality TV shows with laughable premises managed to pull in more viewers. Meanwhile, With Love, Meghan, with all the money and hype behind it, barely made a dent. It became that awkward project people didn't even realize existed unless they were specifically searching for it. Things got worse when Netflix held their major 2025 investor event. These events are all about celebrating big talent and showcasing future hits. Meghan, who had once been front and center in Netflix's promotional campaigns, was nowhere to be found. The silence was deafening. Her $100 million partnership suddenly felt more like a warning than a win. And while she was absent from the lineup, her presence was still felt, just not in the way she'd hoped. Comedians at the event took jabs at her show, poking fun at her forced cooking scenes and awkward dialogue. The crowd laughed, but not with her, at her.
So beautiful.
Oh, I don't know, I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Thank you.
When news broke that, With Love, Meghan was quietly canceled, it hit Meghan Markle harder than anyone expected. This wasn't just another Hollywood setback, it was personal. Insiders say Meghan didn't just feel disappointed, she lost it. She broke down emotionally, overwhelmed by the fact that her carefully crafted docuseries had failed so badly it couldn't even crack Netflix's top 10. For someone who spent years building a brand around elegance, purpose, and resilience, this wasn't just about a show getting canned. It felt like a rejection of her voice, her image, her message.
I gravitate to, and everything goes from there. And how you can incorporate these practices every day. That's what you want. You want that shape and texture.
Behind the scenes, her team scrambled to contain the damage. Legal threats were reportedly sent out to media outlets, while PR strategists tried to redirect the narrative before it turned into a full-blown storm. But the headlines were already piling up, and people were already talking. Her name had been noticeably missing from Netflix's high-profile 2025 investor event, a clear signal that the platform no longer saw her as one of their main stars. And the online chatter only made it worse. Mockery, criticism, and brutal memes spread like wildfire. Meghan's brand has always leaned on the idea of being real and in control, a strong woman finding her voice in a noisy world. But the cancellation exposed just how fragile that image really was. Her emotional reaction, the frantic response from her team, the silence from Netflix, all of it pointed to a deeper truth. This wasn't just a creative failure. It was a direct hit to her identity, the one she's worked so hard to present to the public. With the added weight of past failures, like the Spotify deal falling apart, it's clear Meghan is at a turning point. How do you come back when the world stops buying what you're selling?
Kins, I nearly entered rehab yesterday. That is the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen on television in my life.
When? With Love, Meghan was cancelled. The media and public didn't hold back their reactions. Critics and viewers flooded social media with mockery and skepticism. Many called the show a bloated influencer diary, as if Meghan was just trying to turn her everyday life into some overblown self-help session. Others weren't much kinder, labeling it self-importance masked as self-care. People felt like they were being served a constant stream of Meghan's attempts to look relatable, but it just came off as forced and out of touch.
Of people to cut all of that fruit up. Meghan's not sitting there cutting up all of that fruit every day. It's just it's very delusional. It's very unrealistic. And
public figures jumped into the mix too. Piers Morgan, who has never been shy about speaking his mind, was particularly harsh. He openly trashed Meghan's show and persona, saying it was nothing more than a pity party wrapped in bad TV. His words echoed a wider sentiment that Meghan's constant image management was wearing thin. For many, the charm had worn off, and what remained was frustration and exhaustion.
It's important to me to stay relatable. It's Meghan, like with a hard A, Meghan. I love to elevate a guest.
The public seemed tired of the endless parade of carefully controlled moments designed to make Meghan look like the authentic, joyful woman she wanted to be seen as. Instead of feeling connected, viewers felt distant, as if they were watching a performance rather than real life. The backlash wasn't just about the show, it was about Meghan's whole approach to her public image. Meghan's latest stumble with Love, Meghan really highlights how tough it is for her to reinvent herself after stepping away from royal life. For years, she's been working hard to create a new image, someone modern, independent, and most importantly, relatable. But when a show flops this hard, it does more than just hurt ratings. It makes people stop and wonder if all of it was ever genuine to begin with. Was this new Meghan a real transformation, or just another brand makeover?
We're not in the pursuit of perfection.
A failure like this doesn't just fade away. It lingers. It shakes the trust of the public and fans who may have once rooted for her. In today's world, where authenticity matters more than ever, even a small slip-up can snowball into a full-blown crisis. And this wasn't a small slip. The show was called cringe, self-important, and disconnected. That kind of feedback doesn't just hurt, it sticks. So now, Meghan faces a massive uphill battle. How do you win back an audience that thinks you're faking it?
this set Meghan back. Despite the butt kissing, this really seems to have started people like you and I.
If she wants to move forward, she's going to need more than a rebrand. She might need to rethink everything, what she creates, how she shows up, and who she's trying to reach. A quieter path could actually work in her favor. Maybe she leans into her activism again, writes something honest, or produces behind the scenes where the pressure to perform isn't so intense. Or maybe she tries a totally new tone, less scripted, more human.
And this is classic Harry and Meghan utilizing their friends in the media to respond to criticism. Every week I was talking to you, when is she going to restock? When is she going to restock? So this is her way to answer some of her critics. And she did say she was stepping back to figure things out.
Whatever direction she takes next, one thing's for sure, it can't feel forced. The audience is already skeptical, and they'll see right through anything that comes off as fake. This might be a chance to be more real, but only if she's ready to let go of the perfect image. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.